I've got the key to Glengoyne's Warehouse No.1, and we're about to let ourselves in to try some truly rare and exceptional whiskies. Unfortunately, however, this is under tight lock and key, and so whilst they've given me the key, it's more of a representative thing. Somebody like myself cannot be trusted with this much incredible whiskey at my fingertips. So I'm going to invite Rona here, who is the distillery experience manager, to come in. Thank you so much, Rona, and let us in to this whiskey mecca. There are so many amazing casks here. We're actually lucky enough we're going to be able to try a couple, and wow, look at that. Unfortunately, Warehouse No.1 hasn't been open to the public to date. However, do keep your eyes open, because over the coming months and years, there will be a few different experiences here run by Rona and her team so that you can get involved. I mean, looking here, you've got casks going all the way back to 85, 72, some absolutely phenomenal things going on. And the smell that fills the air, my gosh, it is a special place. So we're in Warehouse No.1 now. Rona very kindly allowed us to open up these two casks. And Gordon, you shared some beautiful liquids with me. Two slightly different casks, slightly different colors. Talk to us, what's going on here?
Well, what we have here, two slightly different shapes of cask. Firstly, on the right hand here, the one in front of me, we have an American oak sherry puncheon, Oloroso sherry, 2011, about 60% alcohol.
Okay.
And on the left hand side in front of you, we have a butt, slightly different shape, similar amount of alcohol, European oak. And even if you look at them here, little difference in color, which reminds us of what we saw on the wall in terms of the different styles and colors of whiskey. So when you nose these, firstly, they don't nose of the strength. They seem nowhere near 60% alcohol, which is a really good sign.
Prickle getting in the way. There's heaps of flavors jumping out of these glasses. It really sits very nicely.
Yeah, I get a little lighter flavors on that American oak cask, a little bit of that vanilla. There's those soft fruits, a little bit of those sort of plums, pears, that type of flavor. And that's at 60. I mean, I've not even added water to it. If we really wanted to look at it, we should probably add some water, but we don't really have any.
Those stone fruits, and to be honest, you don't need it. The stone fruits sing so well at that high percentage. Surprisingly well, actually.
So I can't believe that's 60.
It's delicious.
And you can tell it's American oak because it's activating more on the front of the tongue. When we taste the European oak, you're going to see it's all happening at the back.
Spicier.
More tannin.
Yes.
Yeah, less vanillin, more tannin. So that's what this is. I mean, these are young still, but by God, you can bottle these as single casks. They're absolutely sensational. Let's go on to European oak. Darker on the nose.
Much darker berries, right?
I'm getting that brown muscovado sugar. Is it muscovado? I think it is.
Yeah.
That brown sugar. There's a little bit of those darker fruits.
Yep.
Not too much tannin, but I'm getting raisins. I'm getting a little bit of leather, hint of tobacco. When you taste that, that's all at the back of the throat. It's all activating at the back.
Yeah. I mean, wow. The difference between the kind of light, juicy, like you say, stone fruit, peaches, plums, 100%. To the rich style of that. The astringency on this one is wonderful.
Yeah.
And again, similar sort of strength there?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Can't remember the exact strength, but very similar, very high strength. And I think what's really important to understand, this is two of the cask types we use.
Yes.
You then look at our white oak series, we've just launched them. We're not in this area. Although this is American oak, it is white oak. We're talking about what were ex-bourbon casks and virgin oak casks. Again, a totally different type, lighter than these two, but brilliant as well. So this is fabulous. And obviously, you know, when you look at our 25-year-old, 30-year-old, you're looking at this type of style much more. When you look at our 15s, we're combining these types of whiskies together in our core range. These two styles combined together along with bourbon casks, and that's how we make our core range. So as long as your individual components are fabulous, and these are two great examples, you can make great whiskey.
Absolutely. I always try and explain to people who maybe don't understand huge amounts about whiskey, how you can have two casks that are very similar styles, almost identical to the sort of, you know, the naked eye, but they sit next to each other for the same amount of time, the same warehouse, same environment, and all of a sudden you have two completely different things coming out at the end. And it just showcases how diverse Glengoyne is. Again, maybe wrongly, I've always thought about Glengoyne being that really rich sherry forward dram, and it sits so wonderful in this. But the lighter style of sherry, we tried some other bits today, that white, there's such a diverse array of stuff coming out here. The expressions are phenomenal. I was noticing there's a tawny port just up here. There's some great stuff going on.
And when you get into 72s and really old whiskies like these, that fruitiness becomes tropical.
Absolutely.
And it's just these beautiful mango, papaya, those types of flavors. I mean, it seems hard to explain when you taste a 30 plus, 40 plus Glengoyne. It's tropical fruit abound. It's incredible. So the alchemy, the amazing stuff that goes on in these casks is highlighted by these two, and we are it's all about the oak, They're both had sherry in them. They've both been made in Spain, but look at the color. It's the oak that's driving the difference in the color, which is exactly what the display tells you earlier. So.
Absolutely. A phenomenal experience. And as I said at the beginning, there's so many things that are about to happen here, guys. So please make sure you keep up to date with what's going on at Glengoyne. So Gordon, I'm noticing, obviously it's difficult not to notice this spectacular wall of casks behind me. There's a vast array of things, the 72s down below, you've got that tawny port. There's so many different things happening here. Is there a particular sort of method that goes into the selection of casks that come in here in Warehouse No.1?
I'd like to say there is. I'm not sure if there is. I need to speak to the team here, but I mean, what is incredible is you have things with like that brightly painted red ender. That means that's a fabulous refill. That's ultimately what that means.
Okay.
We have some younger casks in here. As you pointed out, the tawny port's only been in here a year or so.
Yeah.
It's really to show a cross section of what we do. And of course, these ones that stand out. And you can see here, a 1972, this is cask 3310, Lang Brothers. So this is from the previous owners before Edrington, or certainly this cask is from that period. And you can see here, that is a sherry butt. I'd love to open that and try it, but I probably can't. I'll get killed by Rona and locked in here. But we just have an array of casks, and also some of our casks from over here, which are, these are more bourbon barrels, just a cross section of what we do. But, some of our oldest whiskies are in here.
Fantastic. Well, I tell you what, on that note, before we do get you in trouble with Rona or anyone else, let's finish these up elsewhere.
Cheers.
Sláinte yourself. Thank you so much for showing us around. What a phenomenal tasting experience we've had in Warehouse No.1 here at Glengoyne. Like I said, please make sure you stay tuned, look on Glengoyne's website, keep your eyes open for little experiences like this, because there's going to be more and more stuff released over the coming years. For now, unfortunately, that is it from us and Warehouse No.1. We will see you next time on the Whiskey Baron. Sláinte.